We got some breaking news to bring you, and this is big. Starbucks' CEO Laxman Narasimhan is now stepping down as CEO and director. That is effective immediately. The company has named Chipotle CEO Brian Niccol as chairman and CEO. That's going to be effective September 9th. In the meantime, the company's CFO, Rachel Jerry, is going to be serving as interim CEO. This is big news in the world of both Starbucks and, of course, in the world of investments, because there have been a number of activist investors around this. Melody Hobson, the current Starbucks chair, will become lead independent director. And we're going to be able to break all this down, hopefully, in just a couple of minutes. She's going to join us on the show. But we've been talking about Starbucks for quite some time. Laxman taking over the company about a year ago. The stock down since he took over. Just in the past year, you're looking at the stock down about 25%. By the way, the news here up now, putting the stock up about 8% on the back of this news.
Chipotle is doing.
Chipotle is down.
We should 7%. Also take a look at Chipotle as well, and we're going to have to see who's going to ultimately run that company. But you can see the confidence that people have in Brian.
Keep in mind what has happened to Chipotle stock since Niccol took over in 2018. March 2018, he took over. The stock was split adjusted roughly $5 compared to where it is now.
Wow.
So that is the kind of operator he has been. They've been able to fight inflation with price increases, innovation to the menu, also a lot of technology improvements, the Autocado, which automatically scoops out the avocado. So a lot of things like that. If he can impart some of that to the Starbucks story, which has had so many different problems, for the first time offering a $5 pairing menu now, because they have to join the fight in terms of, consumers just pushing back on prices at this point. That's what Narasimhan has not been successful at. And so this is really seen as
it's amazing that they got
Starbucks.
It's amazing that they got Brian.
It was pretty amazing.
They must be paying him a lot.
I want to read from Howard Schultz, of course, Starbucks' founder, is the chairman emeritus. He was apparently consulted on this hiring. He says, having followed Brian's leadership and transformational journey at Chipotle, I've long admired his leadership impact, his retail excellence and track record in delivering extraordinary value, recognize the critical human element it takes to lead a culture and values-driven enterprise. And I'm underlining those words because if you think about some of the criticism that Howard Schultz has leveled towards, actually, this management, I believe he is the leader the Starbucks needs at a pivotal moment in its history. He has my respect and full support. He then goes on to thank Melody and the Starbucks board for their deep commitment to shaping the future. Of course, one of the big questions now is going to be what the activist investors, Elliott and Starboard, which are taking positions, think of this. Are they going to still pursue trying to get seats on that board? What other kind of pressure points are they going to push? Or are they going to say, you know what, these are the operational decisions and moves that have to be made? We've said for a very long time this is a company that would struggle in many ways. There's not a financial engineering program that you can put into place at this company. This is an operational issue. Some people have talked about, do you spin off China? Do you franchise the business? I'm not sure any of those things are now going to be on the table, and maybe this is going to give them some room to try to figure it out.
Chipotle has its own release out about who is going to resume the role here. So far, it looks like an interim CEO, Scott Boatwright, who's the current chief operating officer. But Jack Hartung, who had been the president or CEO of Chipotle prior, he had retired, will stay on indefinitely with the organization as president of strategy. So
that stock down almost 10%.
Yeah. Wow.
It is a
blow. So this is a huge move in the world of what do you call it? Fast food. I wouldn't call it fast food. I'd call it something else.
Brian Niccol is probably regarded, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, as one of the best operators
in the business.
And probably one of the best CEOs out there. And it's interesting that Howard Schultz had to be brought in to give his approval, because he has been sort of the, I don't want to say the third person in the room all the time, but, always sort of second guessing, right? I mean, he had that open letter that was published saying that he didn't like the direction which Starbucks was going. And so he has a say, even if he's away from the company.
And to your point, what the great things that he did at Chipotle, aside from technology and being a great operator, was always doing things that made Chipotle feel special. Mm-hmm. They were doing sort of, in that context, high-end things, special menu offerings that made it not just another commoditized maker of rice bowls and burritos.
Right.
And that's exactly what Starbucks needs.
There's a reason why people are willing to pay $20
right.
for a bowl.
And they still feel like, oh, we're getting Chipotle. Right. That's special.
So can you do that with a cup of coffee?
And that's the question. We've discussed it. We were discussing just yesterday.
Yeah.
What do you have to do?
Your point of, should they just make, just to get people in the store, 99-cent coffee, and Brian would probably go the other direction.
No,
and probably try to move up market and make it more special.
I think the question is, how do you make it special?
Right.
Right. And the cost right now, unfortunately,
are too high
for Starbucks is too high. And so
for this macro environment,
what is the kind of product that you can bring in, and also what is the experience? Going back to that third place idea,
it's all about the experience.
And the human interaction. And we've all lost it because we're buying everything on our phone. And they've had a lot of trouble, by the way, just even fulfilling the orders. And look, the good news is there's long lines. The bad news is there's long lines.
Right.
And so how do you fix that? How do you fix the experience in the stores? How do you clean up some of the stores? I mean, I think there's a lot of work to be done. But he has a lot of respect in the business, and we're going to continue to talk about this story in just a moment.
Yeah. And again, if you're just joining us, Brian Niccol, the former CEO of Chipotle, joining Starbucks. The stock is up 10.5%. Chipotle is down by 9%.